Oh, it's a public.
Yeah, like once the
public
comprehensive
session.
plan is completed and like they rezone the area, the idea is. Then it would actually, they wouldn't, ideally, they wouldn't even need the variances they're asking for right now.
Once rezoning takes place.
Yeah.
So first off, just want, are we live at this point for the work session?
No, 'cause we don't go live until.
No, we go live for us, and we are.
The work session is
So
like,
the work session's live?
Yeah. But
I thought we went
no
live.
input from the,
I thought we went live at 6:30.
so are we live?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we're live, and that's fine, and we'll start the public session at 6:30. So relative to the variances they're looking for, I think staff did say to them, if you wait until the comp plan is approved. There is a downtown vision report that kind of says that right now that could be a higher density zone.
mhm,
And the parking is likely to be less stringent because it really is kind of TOD in downtown. So they decided not to, my understanding, they decided to come before us. And so keep in mind, remember, if they cannot supply, if we were to grant it, but they don't supply the correct amount of spaces, there's a cost to them to do that.
but did we, or the city codify what that cost is? It's something like 10,000 a spot, isn't it, in this situation? So it would be
Yes.
$220,000 worth of make
Yeah,
good
so
on
do we
parking.
Have that figure?
It was 9,000, I think, something like that. So is that discussed with them? Do they
Yes,
know
it
that?
was.
It was this, yeah, Lucas.
Lucas, you discussed the parking
So,
cost
that's
if
just
the
a-
variance was
RIP.
granted, correct?
Pay to the city.
All right,
No.
and what
city.
is that
That's
figure?
the problem with it, it just goes into the general fund.
Okay.
It doesn't really help remediate on a specific parking issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you wanted to.
Yeah. yeah. It's 9,000, right, per spot? So,
How much was it?
42 spaces? No, they have
Oh.
42 spaces, it's 22 space,
Want to the variance
space discrepancy,
is proposed, so
yeah.
variance of question is 42 spaces.
22 times 9. $198,000.
Rid of some of this stuff.
And were there plans or did I felt like I went through the plans, but I didn't see any specifics about the sizes of the apartments? How many one-bedroom studios, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I just saw 11 stories.
No, I didn't see that either.
No detail. Yeah, okay.
And what, I have a question, so.
We are
the
live.
Calculation that's.
Work
being done for the
session
Parking
live.
is not, it will be done for the spaces that they're proposing, not the spaces that we'd be losing. So it's 22, not 42, right?
It's 22,
Is what they're proposing.
yeah.
Got it.
No, That's a mistake.
Like 4 times last time.
So you reversed it by accident? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good catch, Wendell. That is wrong in here.
Is it wrong?
Wait, proposed is 42 spaces, right? 42 spaces and then the variance
Would be 22.
would be, if there's 64, if it's the requirement. The requirement at 64 spaces?
So no, actually, there's 44 spaces that are 42 spaces that are requested at the variance.
Right.
Oh, okay, so
Right.
it's even more money.
Because it is for the, okay, yeah.
Because they're only
Providing
22.
42 spaces, aren't they?
They're providing 42 spaces.
So then that leaves 22.
No, they're proposing, according to this, says proposed is 22 spaces. Is that correct, Will?
No, not according to the other paperwork.
All right,
If
so
you
we
read
need
the
to-
memos,
All right, so we need to know Did they get turned around and what is the correct?
Don't-
Okay,
Okay, yeah, so they're proposing.
Proposing 42 spaces, it's so same stuff.
Which is.
Yeah, they're,
Okay, so
42.
they're proposing 42.
Yeah, so it's transposed.
Okay,
I think it's in part, it's like, number, what happened was, just the way they were written on the plans.
Yeah, yeah.
they're requesting a 22 space there.
They were requesting a 22 space.
Yeah. Okay.
And what is the historic district? Do you know what those, the outline, like what's included? Is that Art Deco building next to it included in the historic district?
it's really not clear.
What that is?
It's not, no, it's not that it's not clear. The historic district is Prospect Avenue from Third past Scranton up to City Hall. So,
So it would include
It's
the
still-
Art Deco building next to it then, right?
if you're saying it's an Art Deco building.
You know, the little one with the, yes,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's very.
yeah, right. No, those, those are historic, structures,
Yeah,
architectural.
yeah,
Yeah, they kind of like right, right over the line in this property, it's partially.
so what
So-
would prevent, according to the use variance requirements by New York State, what would prevent that, neighboring building from requesting the same thing?
Not zoned that. Not, if the comprehensive plan goes through the way it's currently written, they will not be allowed to build up on top of into the historic district. That has to stay the same.
Even though it's just right next door to the.
Right, so
thing.
like I was saying, when we were coming up the stairs, I think, and I want to go on record and I want this to get reported back to the comprehensive plan group. Is that I think it's a mistake to carve out that one lot into the high density because there's only one lot there between the historic district and the parking lot itself. And if you put a tall building there, it's going to tower over the parking lot, it's going to tower over the two-story building on Prospect, and it will tower over the buildings on Barrington Avenue. It's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. It really-
agree.
It's a mistake.
Yeah, that side of the street. What it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that,
it will be
that
low
part of
except for
it,
that one building.
right,
Which makes no. I mean,
right, because
it-
everything before, on the other side of it will be lower. And the one immediate next door to it would be lower, so yeah, it's gonna stick out,
Right.
and it's the only thing that you can,
No, well, they could say, they could. They don't have to call it high density, they could say that it'd
medium,
be up to 5 stories or something
Right,
like that.
right.
I don't know what the height of the garage is. Do we know? Can you tell? Computer what the height of the garage is? The municipal lot?
right, yeah.
It'd be like 5 stories, 6 stories.
It looks like it's 5 stories
6 stories?
at the most.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's 3 to 5.
3 to 5, yeah. That's so.
Maybe, yeah, I would say, I would say 5, I would say 5 or 6, maybe. Maybe.
Well, I can see if it's 4, allowing 5 wouldn't be crazy. If it's 3, allowing 5, okay, maybe, but.
But we don't have a demonstration of economics looked at different levels. We just have the construction budget for this thing. This proposed, what they've submitted is only,
Well, so here's what I think we really need to do is,
it's not spirit,
we need to have them submit a financial feasibility for
a lower,
their stores.
yeah.
They're not showing us
Yeah,
that.
no, they're not.
just Saying,
Here it
That
is.
it's not.
right, that this is what they want to build.
This is just, this
They
is
didn't
what we
even say it's
want.
not feasible, they're like, we wanna build X.
This, yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's tough, this is the way that we're oriented, but like, it's like, it's. Probably, like I would guess it's somewhere around like based on like the buildings, like Jason, somewhere around like 3 stories.
3 stories.
Yeah.
So a tower over that.
Yeah, so maybe 4 at most.
And of the 50 apartments, are they recommending, affordability levels is it all market? Is it-
Well, the same market rate, but
Yeah.
here's the thing, I think that would be getting ahead of where we should be discussing this application. Because again, they have to meet all 5 criteria for use variance.
Right,
They have to meet all 5.
Right.
And I don't think they're meeting.
they're meeting all
Right,
5.
so it really becomes, why talk about detail if
Yeah, if you're not meeting,
you're not gonna get the use variance,
Okay.
so.
yeah.
And the issue you were just talking about, you're saying that, so there's a historic area?
Yeah, in the comprehensive plan.
Right, where,
It's from that, it's like that Art Deco building corner on East Prospect forward up to City Hall. Because there's a lot of old,
I gotta look at it.
So if you look at this,
I have the map. Oh, did you have it? Here it is.
it's easier to see if you blow it up.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I was looking at,
Oh, excuse me,
yeah, I was looking at this, so it's hard for me to map it.
alright, so.
So where are we?
We are,
Alright, so we are in City Hall, which is, why am I not seeing it? This is City Hall,
We're there, okay.
and this is First Street. And this is, let's see, this is upside down. I'm sorry.
I have a simply version on my laptop, that might actually be easier.
Oh,
oh, that's
oh,
good.
this is better.
Mike,
Mike, this is better, it's bigger.
Yeah, so like this is the property right here.
Right,
And then this like whole little like black, that area around it is the district.
and where's?
It's a historic,
Yeah,
There's no-
yeah, there's like
Right.
there will be
And
no,
where are we?
this little white box.
we're in City Hall over here.
Well, yeah,
If you're saying where are we,
We,
right
right,
now,
right,
City
right.
Hall is
Yeah,
right,
that-
Okay, just
is-
relative to, okay, and
thi-
that's the building.
this is the building.
that's the
Okay,
lot,
and what's
That's
that what's that white box?
That's the lot.
that's the lot.
Yeah, yeah,
that's the bakery.
Oh, that's the big.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then,
So it's cut, oh, I see what you're saying, so they cut that little piece out.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, and
But
even
where-
if they're
where's the-
saying.
And this is the municipal, this is the girl,
The rest
Yeah,
of the street,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
Well,
And this is the Art Deco building here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I gotta take a look at that,
It's a very unusual.
okay, that was the things, okay.
So again, if you build 11 stories here, or 10 stories here, or 9 stories here, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. You're gonna see it from Bremerton Avenue.
Right,
These are all gonna remain low. Yes, there is some height on this side because there's existing apartment buildings.
right,
But it's on the opposite side of the street.
And it's set back. So
Yeah.
Ramerton Avenue is supposed to be what, medium density?
Yeah, no, it's this light yellow, which
It's-
is,
Medium low, I have.
so do you think there'll
Yeah.
ever be any plans for the?
it's low density.
Do you think,
Yeah, the parking lot.
do you think
needs-
there'll ever be any plans for the parking lot?
I doubt it. Unless somebody was to buy that lot, keep the parking on the bottom and build above it. Right.
The parking, like, as it is now, is
I doubt if that's gonna happen.
parking as it is now is often like cited, you know, because it's like a municipal lot that you can use for your proximity to your business.
But it's
Ramerton
not,
is
it's owned by the city.
Yeah.
It's not private,
Yeah.
it's owned by the city.
Yeah, so it's, and listen, and the city did sell a piece of property that had a parking lot in Fleetwood, which was a lot of outrage over that, but the city didn't own the property. They leased it from somebody else and they had some agreement, so,
That's different.
well, it was somebody else owned the property.
Right.
The city was leasing the space and then
But
putting
city,
the
the
garage.
city owns this.
My understanding is yes, the city. owns it.
Yeah, it's part of the meeting, just gonna piggyback on what some commissioner announced. That's why I don't see my. This used to be right next to Life Institute. Highlighted some here. You like what it's in the side. Exactly. But we are showing the type of housing that you're providing.
So they have.
So you say that this is part of an agreement, this is.
Well, I mean, I get it trying to, fit in to this in city area. So again, if I get some, even though they're gonna have their threshold, I actually mentioned, if they do, here, but they mentioned 15 stories, that's a right in, narrow.
So,
Let's be a trade.
and currently, they don't have anything as of right, because that is just.
It's not zoning.
So it's
It's a plan.
scoping plan.
They just lighted it out to show.
It is in this.
It is in the zone, but it's not.
It's not gonna be.
Right, that's my.
So they can't build.
Yeah, yeah,
unless-
that's what I'm saying.
Right,
But
that's why they're coming up.
But it would help. This is what the city vision is, which is for years, fighting for us. Here it's.
So that's.
So Will, Bremerton Avenue is low density up to 7 stories, or is it up to 4 stories on Bremerton Avenue? It's
Yeah, it is, according to this plan.
That's low density.
I didn't know what it was, actually.
No.
Supposed to tell me.
It'd be kind of tough, I think, to
Yeah,
go
she's always.
much grander, because everything,
So-
the infrastructure there is very like.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see. like,
Oh,
two
right.
others, but I don't know, I don't want to, I might be still.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mind if I take the?
Yeah.
yeah, no,
All right, we're gonna get close.
like what I want to, what I want.
No,
to
it
do,
is.
They're gonna say, oh, we're gonna, there's room in the parking lot for the tourist.
We may.
Then other people just don't park there. But this is not.
We may have.
I mean,
It's not nice. Maybe that's what one of part of the maintenance that they need to be providing is enhancing the parking distance.
Oh, yeah.
We put
I would rather, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the parking lot's not great.
No, it's the,
And stuff like that.
it looks like it's
And it should stay.
Right,
deteriorated and probably a rotting structure.
right, right. And you can just-
Yeah. It's. Let's.
Yeah, I don't know who these people are, and how many buildings they've run, you know.
Yeah.
I would want more background on who these guys are.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to be next to, so 2 points, it's not so much a parking lot, I wouldn't want to be next to that parking structure too.
That one.
That, there's not even so much of a parking.
It's like-
That. Yeah, come on. It's not great.
No, it's not. It's hideous. I know this man from somewhere. I don't know who he is. Trying to like figure it out. Yeah, yes. I guess it's that one. And this guy over here that just came in.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from the butcher shop. He runs the Caribbean Butcher Shop on Gramerton Avenue with all the, yeah. Have you seen?
But you know, I know the.
That's
I know the
him.
butcher shop.
Yes.
My aunt, we live in the Bronx.
And get your goat.
You know, back.
I gotta go there tomorrow. It's my husband's birthday. I gotta make him some goat.
He's Jamaican.
He's gonna.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be there.
I had a.
I think that's a good business.
Very familiar with it.
Yeah. I don't know who these other people.
All right, who stole my pen?
Is
6:30.
that? That's what it's supposed to-
Now I have to go check out our deco, but I
It's
don't-
really
I
interesting.
don't-
Because we don't have that many
No.
interesting buildings, but do check it out.
Yeah.
If they have a Mexican ice cream store on the bottom. In the back, then there's a taxi stand. It goes from Gramerton Avenue to North Third.
There it is.
It's like a full block though,
Okay.
and it's
Take-
2
I'll take a
stories.
look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Take a look at
That's got a clothing store on this side. It's a clothing.
That is cool.
That's 30.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It's 6:30. And we will begin the public session of the Zoning Board of Appeals. We have one item on the agenda today, but initially, if Maria, if you could do roll call, please.
Yes, when I call your name, please respond. Commissioner Ball Adipo,
Present.
Commissioner Pinnock. Present. Chair Justino.
Here.
Okay, so we have a quorum.
Okay, and second item is approval of minutes from May 20th, 2025. I'd ask the other members if they've had a chance to review them. And having reviewed them, is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
I second.
Seconded, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Thank you. Okay, public hearing, item number 3, the new public hearing case, number ZB 25-3, 22 North Third Avenue, section 165-2, block 1117, lot 8 in the CB Commercial Business and DB Downtown Business Zones. Regarding public notice, the board received proof of mailing on July 3rd, 2025, proof of publication in the Journal News on July 3rd and July 6th, 2025, and proof of official sign posting for the application. The board has also received an affidavit of sign posting stating that on June 30th, 2025, a sign was posted at the site, giving notice of the zoning board's July 15, 2025 meeting. The board also received photographs showing that the sign posting on the property has been updated, providing notice of today's meeting. The owner, Peter Adelino of 22 North 3rd Realty Corp., is represented by his architect, Tom Abalama. The applicant is seeking to obtain use and area variances for a proposed structure at 22 North 3rd Avenue. The subject property is 10,242 square feet. It's located on North 3rd Avenue near the intersection of North 3rd Avenue and East Prospect Avenue in both the CB Commercial Business and DB Downtown Business Zone districts. Use and area variance is requested. There's a use variance for both, to change both the CB and DB zones to multifamily residential building. There are 3 area variances. Building height, 30 feet, 2 stories in the CB Commercial Business District. They're proposing 86 feet, 11 stories, which is a 65 feet 9-story variance, or 65% on the height and 82% on the amount of stories. The area variance, impervious surface coverage required is 80%, proposing 100%. The variance requested is 20%. And then there's an area variance request for parking where required is 64 spaces, 42 are being provided. The variance request is 22 or 60. No, that's not 66%. It's like 34%. The application has been sent to the fire department, the police department, the water bureau, DPW, and the city engineer for comments. Because the application requires a use variance, it must be referred to the Westchester County Planning Board. SEQRA, the proposed use and area variance is classified as an unlisted action. For SEQRA purposes, the ZBA should determine whether it in turn intends to serve as lead agency for the environmental review of this proposed action. So, good evening.
I'm
And
sorry,
thank you.
Mr. Chair, just,
Yes, I'm
can I also
sorry.
just clarify that the use variance will apply only to the CB portion of the property? Multifamilies are permitted by special permit in the DB zone. So
Okay,
it really has no impact
Yeah.
overall, but I just.
and actually, my apologies. Let me just read this again to make sure that the record is correct. So for the DB Downtown Business is use variance to allow the proposed multifamily residential use, and on the CB zone use variance to allow. So So this is not correct then, you're saying? You're saying we need a use variance
For the CB,
for CB
correct.
and that, there isn't allowed usage for multifamily in the DB zone.
Yes, by special permit, which the planning board,
So I was gonna say, that's not a zoning board.
correct.
Right, I don't believe, I don't believe a project of this size or scope would meet those special permit criteria. So if they were to go before the planning board with the special permit, they would meet the criteria, they'd have to ask for a variance from an area variance from those special permit criteria. It gets a little, it's. a
Yeah,
little messy.
so based on that, we really should be currently concentrating on use variance for CB. Not considering use variance right now in the DB zone.
Correct. It's just a technicality. I don't think the facts will change anything. They still have to, present probably the same evidence for both zones. So I just wanted to just clarify that technicality.
Okay, do you have a mic there?
I do.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure it's on, so, okay. Good, everybody here? All right. All right, Nkechi, I know Nkechi speaks very softly. We love that about her, except in the public meeting, we need her to have her outside voice on, so. So I'll try to paraphrase or repeat it. So it's currently a bit of a technicality, and I think there needs to be a little more research on the city's end. So first off, you're gonna have to get over the use variance for the CB zone, which I want to explain as well, that there are 5 criteria for allowing for a use variance. And those 5 criteria, you have to meet every one of them. Getting a use variance is an extremely strict request. And so let's say we look at this and we ultimately say, yeah, here's a use variance under the CB zone. Then there's going to be, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, staff, then there's going to be some discussion internally about, okay, is there a special use permit that's then needed for DB? Or if you decide that a use variance will work for the DB zone, then will our granting of a use variance for CB automatically apply to DB? Does that make sense? So here's what I would say. At this point, it's a little complicated. I think there's a lot more that we need to hear from you and you need to hear from us relative to this application before we get in those weeds. Because unless you want to get in the weeds now for whatever reason, it's your right to speak up and say differently. And so I'm going to ask a question. It says Mr. Abalama is representing, but I see another woman there. If you could give me your name, tell me where you fit into this whole process. So there should be a microphone up there. If not, can you grab one, Tom? And what you do is just press the front of it. The green light will go on, and hold it up towards your face and speak clearly and loudly into it. Just touch the.
Yes, okay. Yes, my name is Esther Martinez. I'm working together with Tom.
Okay.
He's Tom, the architect of record for this project. So we have been working together to present this to you guys.
Okay.
Good evening to everyone. I would say good afternoon, the still sun out, right? To everyone here present. We would like to start the presentation of this project today, saying, you already said it on the minutes. So this project is located on the west corner of the North Avenue on Prospect Avenue in Mount Vernon, about 50 feet away from the Prospect Avenue corner. We are proposing here, in this presentation, per the zoning, right, that you already said, 11-story building. So the 11-story building is going to be basically mixed use. The first floor is gonna be commercial as is right now. And partial of entrance for the residential portion on the second floor and above. Is gonna have two-level for parking below the first floor, which is gonna provide also a ramp on that end level. First floor here. So the first floor is gonna have the ramp all the way to the lower levels. It's gonna have also a mechanical spaces and amenities to the building, gym. The typical floor plan, this is the first floor. So we are proposing the main entry to the apartments above on the center. On the left side is gonna be all the way to the back, commercial, similar use to what we have right now. And then on the back of the property, we are proposing a gym and mechanical areas. And at the front, we are proposing the ramp going down to lower levels for parking purposes. So as of now, we have about 3,562 square feet of commercial. We have 3,579 building for amenities. We have 1,209 of mechanical spaces and about 715 square feet of ramp
Excuse me,
going down.
I'm just gonna ask you to speak slower, because your accent's a little bit harder for me to understand, and I just want to understand everything you're saying, and we want everybody else to understand. So just speak slower, and that's
Okay.
fine, and I think we'll be good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
that's good. That's good. That's good. On the typical floor plan, which is the next second to ninth floor. Do you want me to repeat it again? I can.
I do have a question about the first floor. You said it's gonna be commercial, the first floor?
Yes.
It's mix of commercial and egress, ramp for the lower level. So I would say half and a half.
How many commercial spaces will be included on the first floor? There'll be one rentable commercial space?
As of now, we have just one.
Okay, and that's the space to the right?
The space
What's to the left?
to the left's called bistro.
Okay.
It's kind of
okay,
like a restaurant, bakery,
Okay, thank you.
similar use to what we have right now on the property. So the typical floor plan, which is the second to the next page, Tom. This is where we are starting the residential portion of the building. So we are proposing 6 units in every level, from the second to the ninth. We are proposing 4 units, 2-bedroom apartments, and we are proposing 2 units, 1-bedroom apartments. They are ranged between 869 to 969 square feet per apartment for 2 bedrooms. And for 1 bedroom, 662 about. The 10th floor, which is the next, and the 11, is where we are proposing duplex penthouse apartments. We'll have 2 bedrooms each. A den, which could be also, office space for the tenant. Kitchen, living room, and so forth.
I'm gonna interrupt you again if you don't mind. So where in your submitted plans and application do you break down the apartment sizes, bedrooms, and alike? Other than visually by floor, is there a chart that lists?
Well, on the plans, I have listed the apartment numbers with the actual square footage per unit. They are typical, so they are above
No,
or
but-
below.
So on page second
would
floor
say-
through 9, but you don't have a summary, right? You
We don't
just,
have a summary, we just have
Alright,
the
so
apartment
you'll
designation.
need to have a summary at some point, okay?
We can add that, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So on this proposal, we are up to 50 units. We have 48 on the typical floor and 2 units on the top floors.
How many total units, apartments are there?
15 total, 50,
50,
50, 50 units.
Okay. And so how did staff or whoever come up with 64 spaces required?
We understand that there could be a wrong number that they gave us from the building department.
Well, it clearly is incorrect because isn't it still 2 spaces per unit?
Correct, that's my understanding. And
Right.
Also, just for the record, the plan examiner report that we received from the building department did not have the specific details of the variances
Okay,
yet, because they were going off a set of plans that was an earlier set of plans. So the plan examiner report that's currently in your file references an earlier version of the project where it was 7 stories residential above the commercial. So we are waiting for the updated plan examiner report, which would clarify the exact magnitude of the variances. However, you know that a use variance is.
yeah,
That we
right.
know, so that.
No, and I, I talked about really not getting ahead of the use variance, but clearly that's your presentation. I don't want to just ignore it and let it go by. So I just to add to this parking requirement, the 50, if there's 50 apartments, there should be 100 spaces. And then there's commercial, and that requires a number of spaces. So we need to make sure that if and when we get back and get to that point where there is, the use variances are granted, then that would need to be clarified and corrected.
I just want to point out that we find out that you were asking. I actually remarked it here, and we were going crazy when we received the minutes. But we said we're gonna clarify here, so I guess that's the reason why, because it was 7 stories before. So maybe that was the reason.
Right. The plan examiner report that was included in the package, was from 2024. So it was dated June 4th, 2024, referencing plans that were, well, the last review on the plan examiner report was September 26th, 2024. So the plans that we're reviewing today are newer than those.
Yes,
So this is actually an old letter, that there needs to be a second plan examiner report where we can, before any variances can be granted.
we understand. Yeah.
Let's speak of the parking.
Yeah, so considering the parking topic, right? So on the lower level, we have 2 lower levels, basement and basement lower. We are proposing 21 parking spaces per floor as of now. Per level, so totaling 42 spaces. So as you guys know, I mean, everyone here should know that our lot is considered 50% CB and 50% downtown business. So we are also located within a downtown density distribution area adopted recently by the city council, what allows.
I'm gonna have to stop you there and correct you, because there is a scoping plan, it's a draft. There is a downtown scoping plan, phase 1 of the comprehensive plan. It has not been adopted. Yes, it does create an opportunity for a developer to say, it looks like this is where the city's going, but we are not there yet. And I'm not going to say that, that disqualifies you to even talk about it. But if you are going to speak about it, you need to speak about it and understand that it is just a draft. It has not been accepted. It is not the current zoning or at this point in time.
Chairman, I believe they allowed from the city council to sign off for the 15-story. It is already so far, yes. Yes.
Well, I'm not sure I understand what you mean. You're not before the city council, you're before the zoning board.
Right.
All right, we have separate bodies. If you wanted to go before the city council, you have a right to do that as opposed to coming before, and I think you were told that. And you were also,
Here,
yeah, and you were, I think that it was also mentioned to you that, you know, if that plan is adopted, it might be easier for you to get your project. But I understand time is money and all that, so if you know, we'll proceed and see what we can do to entertain your request. We will entertain your request, but see what we can do, whether we can approve it or not.
So one of the things that we were discussing internally is all the proposals that are in the downtown area now, based on the necessities and the future vision of the town. And one of them is a transit-oriented zone. So right now, we are right there where bus lines are running and operating basically all the time. We are so close to the Metro North station. And besides that, we also located like next door from the municipal parking garage, which is right there on the right side of our property. Tom, can you, the right side of our property right there is where the municipal parking garage is right now. And the Metro North Railroad is all further down. So right now, you know, we know that all this is ideas and draft, and it hasn't been stamped and approved yet by the city council as you expressed to us. But we are looking for considerations of, you know, providing residential to accommodate, you know, the necessity of residential units on the downtown area. So in pursuing our use variance, we also are proposing a higher building, as you say, as you see in the presentation here. So we have 11 stories. So that's another thing that we see run here in the chart. So the 11 stories should be 121 feet, 6 inches instead of 86. Also, the CB district allowed us just 2 stories. So we are proposing 11. That's another variance. And the parking, as I expressed, right, we are located within 150 feet of an existing municipal parking garage, which is located next door to us. And one of the code that we were discussing internally allowed us to have a 0.7 parking per unit with that condition being met. Right now, we are at 84% with the amount that we are providing on 42 units, 42 parking.
So again, the plan examiner's report is incorrect. So like we said, currently, the requirement is for 100 spaces. If it was 0.7 and you had, then it's different, but we're not at that at this point in time. I understand you want to relate it to what it could be in that zone, but we have to talk about what it is. We will consider that in our decision-making process, but really the hurdle right now is the use variance. So you're talking about area variances, which quite honestly, I'm happy to hear you discuss it, but we're not going to discuss them in earnest until we get over the use variance, because it would be a waste of time. If you don't get the use variance, then the project is dead at that point. If you get the use variance, then the area variances would be pertinent.
Thank you. Yes. So, Tom, do you have something else to say?
So now, Mr. Chairman, what we'd like to do right now to show you that the 11 stories that we're proposing, we sat down with the owner who looked into project to find out that we're gonna need more apartments on this level. Now, we're proposing 11-story, And we know that city council has approved 15 stalls. And so we would like to reach to go up to 3 more stories above the 11 stories that we have. And that's why we'd like to show you the new project, almost the same thing, except for 3 more stories that we have.
So let me understand. Are you saying right now that your plan is not 11 stories? It's going to be 14 stories?
So that's why we need to go back to the building department, Mr. Chairman.
Well, let me just stop you a second, because you put in plans for, I don't know, 7 stories, 8 stories. It changed to 11. Unfortunately, the city building department didn't get it right, and here we are today looking at numbers that are not correct. And now you want to tell us that your presentation is really not for 11 stories, but it's for more.
So that's why we're telling you.
All right, so here's what I suggest. That I don't, honestly, unless you guys feel differently, I don't want to hear any more about what you're proposing from a use variance standpoint. An area variance standpoint. If you want to talk about the use variance, that's what we'll address. Other than that, you guys have to go back to the drawing board, talk to the departments, and resubmit an application that is what you want to submit.
No, that's the reason, Sharon, is what happened. We filed with the building department. It took a few months to get to this point. And in the meantime, we decided to find out that the money is involved in the situation. So we decided to go with a 3 more story building. And in the meantime, what can we do for 3 months trying to go through the building department and come into this point? Mr. Chairman, please understand that we're not trying to come up with a number right now in front of you. But we'd like to get it as much as we can.
Listen, I do understand that, and I do appreciate the owner and the investment, and time is money. I understand all of that. And I hope you don't think my comments are just in a vacuum from that concern, but put yourself in our shoes. We're here, we have what we have in front of us. And whether some of it is, I'm sure you saw these documents and you clearly knew that some of it was incorrect. It's incumbent upon you to work within the system and the departments to get it straight before it comes to us. So, I mean, you know, if you want to say there's responsibility on both sides, there is to an extent, but you know, that has to be straightened out, and clearly it's not at this point. So I'd like to talk about the use variance, unless you have something else you want to say at this point.
I would like to have also our owner, Mr. Peter, I don't know, he's gonna come in.
We would like to speak to the owner.
Briefly.
Mr. Peter Andolino.
Our users.
Yep.
Excuse me, the protocol, I don't understand the protocol because I've never done this in my life.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you a couple things, and that is, if you're a tall guy, so if you pick that mic up, put it closer to you when you're speaking.
Okay.
And give us your name and then go ahead.
My name is Peter Andolino. I'm the owner of 22 North Third Realty, A&M Bronx Bacon. Long time resident, my family. I'll tell my personal history and we'll talk about my family. I was born on 7th, lived on 6th, educated on 5th. My business is on 3rd. My grandfather built the first home at 121 North 6th Avenue, 1890. We came over from Italy. That's my history here. I moved my business to North Haven, Connecticut. We were expanding. There's no opportunity for the size of building that we needed, and it was financially impossible to stay in New York. We moved to Connecticut, and now we're doing business there. I don't want to leave this area and Mount Vernon in a bad way and say, screw it, leave it, cash out and go. That's not what's happening here. The way the project sits with the 11 stories and some of the financials and construction costs were analyzed, the valuation, not due to any fault of ours, because we're in Mount Vernon. the planning department asked for the first market priced project, which is the shining star of Mount Vernon, right? You haven't done anything but low income because of its proximity to the train station and the bus station and all that. And they said, hey, let's turn this place around. Let's get this done. The developers don't believe it. Okay, so they're not ready to put their money behind it. That leaves it on me to make a decision whether I want to leave it as a warehouse, as an NB zone, or move on. You lost 50 jobs. I'm sure Sal here lost the business from my guys. That's what's happening. So if we're gonna not leave this in a bad way, I want to see something happen. That's it. As the 11-story building, what Tom's trying to say is we did some due diligence, and comps, McQuestion Parkway, and the stuff that's been done already is coming up at $40,000 per apartment. To put that into perspective, okay, to create the land value, okay, what's the land worth once the approvals are done? Comes out to the same amount of money as its value as a warehouse. No one's gonna do that. I can't get anybody interested in that. And what does that mean? It stays like that. I'm out of here already, and we sell it as a warehouse. So that's why he's talking about the 15 stories. We want to get people interested. We want to do market price. But the condition is, if you want to do market price and create, this is the planning. This isn't my vision. This is the planning board's vision for downtown Mount Vernon, not mine. If you want to get developers interested and banks interested, we have to show them it could be a viable project. So in order to do that, the land acquisition cost has to be cheap enough to make this thing look like a value. So they take that risk and build your first market price apartment building in the past 20 years. You want that. You want to turn everything around. This is how we start. White Plains did it. New Rochelle did it. Not to say also, so that also leaves a possibility that it can be changed. Maybe and partially low income. I don't know. I'm a baker. I'm not a builder, but this is what I'm hearing. And this is where we stand. So Tom's leading the charge here. I understand what you're saying, the zoning thing. I also want to point out something that I heard. I think you brought it up just now. Because we are abutting, not down the street from, not 10 feet away, but abutting a public parking lot. There's something on the books to allow parking. It was in the plans I saw from 1965 that are missing now. Can't find them from City Hall. But there's something that was said, hey, if height restrictions, the proximity to the parking
So
will be taken into consideration.
I can clarify that for you. So you do have the right to request that if you're within 500 feet of a public municipal lot, to use some of those spots to meet your parking requirements. Now, there's a cost to that, but yes, so that is possible. Nobody's saying that it's not.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about is the information that's in front of us is incorrect, and we got to get that corrected, right? And even if it was correct for what we believe to be coming before us, you're now saying that's changing. So that adds to the confusion, which we could get over all of that. But the reality is that there is still a need for a use variance. And I don't know if you are aware of the things that you.
I am not. I'll be honest with you, I thought that it was rezoned after meeting with planning the one meeting I came to. I thought this was all in place already. So that's, I take it on me. I'll pick that up.
It's unfortunate. I'm sorry that,
Yeah.
I don't think intentionally misled, but maybe misunderstood or
No,
something.
misunderstood. So I like to see it happen. I like to leave something positive in Mount Vernon, like my grandparents and my great grandparents did. That's it. I have to do it soon.
Yeah.
You know, I can't leave that building fallow over there. We're already having problems and it's, you know,
So the operation is no longer there at all?
No.
So the building is vacant?
building's vacant.
Okay.
Yeah, cleaning it out as, you know, as we speak. So that's bad. That's bad for the retail. If you want to resurrect the retail on Gramerton Avenue, if you want to resurrect the neighborhood, it's bad. It's bad to leave buildings fallow, especially on. and
No,
North
I-
Third Street, a little further.
we agree with that. They need to be purposed and, you know, productive for the city and the owner of the property. Unfortunately, there's just rules and regulations that can be annoying at times, and that's why, one of the reasons why the city is redoing their comp plan, because they're going to make some changes. But, you know, and on this, I'm gonna say this because this is my personal feeling. Right now, the way they have shown what they feel to be the proposal for the downtown area, I think your property being put in that, you know, higher density level is a potential mistake. And I say that because you abut a 3 to 4 story parking lot, you abut the historic district buildings, which are not going to be any taller than 2 stories. The rear of your building abuts Gramerton Avenue, which again is in the historic district and is not going to be any taller than 2 stories. So just think about what your building is going to look like relative to everything around it. Now, I know across the street, there's,
You have the Saratoga, it's 21 stories.
and those are set back. They're not on the curb line like yours. So it is a little different, but all those things have to be considered. I'm not saying that eliminates you, but I'm just giving you my personal thought when I look at the problem.
Not understood. And I, you know, like I said, I think it's a different feeling when we're planning things, right? It's different from what in those meetings, what I experienced with them. It's fine. I go, it's fallow. Maybe it'll be a parking lot. Maybe I'll get a demolition permit. I don't know. That might happen. Because I'm a businessman. I can't sit here for 10 years and do this. I just want to do the right thing. I'm not making a ton of money on this. It's nothing like that at all. Believe me. Belmont Avenue in the Bronx,
But
a
I don't
similarly sized project, just the way you described it, from the sidewalk to the back to the 50 beds, not apartments, $7.5 million. This is a 1.2 million. Paid 600,000 for the building. This 25 years ago, 30 years ago. We're not talking about anything. It's really just what we want to do. Just to see something be left in a positive way. That's it, you know.
And again, we want the property to be repurposed. You know, we're not looking at it as, oh, you're going to make a lot of money or you're trying to make a killing. It's the least thing from our minds. So we know you're a son of Mount Vernon. You've been here a long time. Your family grew up here. I'm born and raised in Mount Vernon. I know A&M bread. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
So I have nothing but admiration for you and your family. But there are things that we have to consider. So here's the thing. So the first thing that comes to my mind and the rest of the board's mind, I believe in our conversations, is that there's a need for justification financially as to why you can't build, let's say, a 5-story building, right? So, I mean, because if you were going to build a 5-story building, it's easier for me to say, let's see if we can make this work. But, you know, beyond that, I think it's important that we read to you the things that are required for a use variance. Unfortunately, so here's the thing, we can ignore these items, right? And say, he's a nice guy, he's been around forever. Let's make it easy for him. But then somebody can say, you know what? I'm challenging the zoning board's decision, filing Article 78 and say, you know what? They gave him a use variance, but they did not satisfy 3 of these 5 items. And then you go to court, we go to court, nothing happens. So we need, it's bad for it. So, I know that the whole comp plan thing is taking a lot longer than everybody had anticipated, but it is what it is. So can I read the items for use variance so that you have a better understanding? And I'd be glad to, and in fact, the Nkechi passed around something to the board today that maybe we can forward to the applicant and the owner regarding use variance. That's a little more detailed than what I might be able to say here. But let me again, so reiterate, there's 5 items and you have to satisfy all of them, okay? So number 1 is here's the question. The applicant cannot realize a reasonable return as shown by competent financial evidence. The lack of return must be substantial. So we have to answer that question. But the only way we can answer that is for you to, so we say, well, maybe a 5-story building will work. You kind of got to give us a 5-story financial statement to say it will or will not work.
Pro forma work, so I understood. So I'll make it simple. If I have to buy this block for a certain price, this table, put something on it and realize a return. If it's 5 stories and I paid $1 million for this, I'm not gonna get a return. That's the way the numbers will work, okay? Didn't work for, and the acquisition of the property is 1 point, what we had in a pro forma, a simple pro forma we did was $1.2 million. It's nothing in terms of these deals from other, Thompson, Portchester, White Plains, New Rochelle, Yonkers. It's nothing. So if we can't get a developer interested at 1.2, we need the space. We need the capital to make that, and they're scared, honestly, they're scared because planning wants market price, meaning full price apartments. And I said, fine, 11 stories, whatever, when they were talking about their re-evaluation of the area. I said, fine, okay, market price, I'll go with that. I didn't know it was the first project done in 20 years, 30 years. That was market price. That wasn't low income.
Well, there have been a few of them, maybe not in that area. So, there have been market rate projects in Mount Vernon. They are further north in the Fleetwood area. And there is one proposed currently, a large project, but that's not even completed yet either and approved. So yes.
That's the only thing. That's it in a nutshell, really. It's just that simple of it. To get a developer, and I'm talking about the people that surround us already. Just to get those guys interested, I'm not gonna say names. They're not interested. They'll take it and make a parking lot out of it. So that's the reality.
I appreciate, and I that's terrible that that's the case. I can't make a decision. We can't make a decision without seeing numbers. You're standing there saying, we're looking at an acquisition cost of 1.2 million. How difficult is it to put together a pro forma? So that should be part of the record. We can't make a determination on, vague comments. I'm sorry. Relative to the,
I agree.
relative to the ability to make a return. So, and I'll finish the other item. Item 2, the alleged hardship relating to the property is unique. So the hardship may not apply to a substantial portion of the zoning district or neighborhood. It's a little bit harder to answer and maybe a little more harder to understand, but we're going to send you something that will explain it a little bit better. Number 3, the requested use variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. The alleged hardship has been self-created. So if you self-created the hardship, if you bought the property or owned the property and now you want to change it, those tend to be self-created. So actually there's only 4 items. Did I screw that up? The area variance makes it 5. So, but anyway, those are the things, that really we have to answer, and that you have to help us answer. And to me, that's the first hurdle you have to overcome.
Give it a shot. like I said, it's,
I hate to sound discouraging,
no,
I
no,
know
it's
you-
not
you
just
don't-
I moved this is part of my portfolio, but not, you know, it was the main part of my portfolio when I was younger, but it's not it anymore. I'm working on projects in Newport, Rhode Island. I just built a place up in, North Haven, Connecticut, where A&M is now housed. And I just want to leave this the right way.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not,
and we,
you know,
that's a great thing,
That's all it is to it.
right? So, I will, you have anything else in particular right now? Do you want to?
Now,
Bring
the
forward?
hardship issue, I don't quite understand if you could elaborate.
It's a financial hardship. So in other words, that there's nothing I could do with this property to make money with it.
You know, that's,
Say that again,
I guess
Mackenzie?
that's yet to be seen. I don't know. How hard is it to rent retail on Bremerton Avenue right now? How hard is it to, put a warehouse there? Someone to move in with no loading docks? How hard? I don't know.
No,
I haven't
those-
tried. I
those
haven't really
are-
thought about it.
Okay, those are things that, yes, that you
Yeah.
would present to say that this kind of usage that's allowed within the zone, and you'd have to, and obviously supposed to look at all the allowed usages. So we would need to, you know, kind of look at those and I'm sure Lucas would be happy to sit down with you or Tom and go over them and get an understanding of what the uses are and whether brainstorm whether, okay, and this makes no sense, that makes no sense. Oh, maybe this does.
We actually tried to sell it to another bakery, but it's, you know, they didn't want it. So nobody wants to do this anymore.
How long have you been out of there?
Month, 2 months now.
Oh, so it's really a short
Yeah.
period of time.
It's a big endeavor to try to move all the equipment.
So you've taken the equipment out?
We took most of it, yeah, 90%'s out. The ovens were the essential thing that can't be recreated, so.
Right.
Those had to be taken out, rebuilt. Big project. We're still here, still we maintain a distribution center on Colonial Place. That's where we do all our distribution into the tri-state area. From there, we send tractor trailers down every night. And we work out of there now.
Okay,
All right.
Any other board member have anything to ask or say?
No, I don't think there's anything else to say. I think you have to go back and look at these the four standards for the use variance and be able to answer each one of them with respect to your proposal.
I didn't hear the rest.
Sorry.
Yeah, you have to put them.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. No, I was just saying, I think it's just a matter of coming back and utilizing the standards for the use variance for the project. If you were able to answer all four of those questions, then it can justify getting the use variance, number one. Number two, this plan originally said 11 stories and now you're saying 15. So I think coming back, just laying out what you plan on doing and demonstrating you know, 5 stories doesn't work. I mean, all the things that the chair said, I think will help make the argument. That's all.
Yeah. Some of it I wasn't aware of, so now we are.
Right. And so again, just to get an idea of, you know, something like this is fairly major. I hope your expectation wasn't that we'd be like one and done. That would really never have happened. And not that we want to drag it on. And that's why I don't want to start spending a lot of time on area variances because again, the use variance is the hurdle you got to overcome first. So,
We can get
and
there.
you've heard some of our comments about the area variances. I mean, they are major, so, but, you know, if the zone was changed and the plan was adopted, they're not as major necessarily, but, so anyway,
Honestly, before I walked in the door, that's what I thought the condition was, so I apologize.
that's okay.
Yeah.
It is a learning process.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, just want to let you know, that Jack Desso was supposed to be here tonight, but his son had a baby, so he wasn't able to come in. So we're gonna come in September, let's hope.
Okay, so, honestly, I'm surprised that there wasn't legal counsel with you. You really do need legal counsel. It's not my place to tell you that, but since it was brought up, you should have some legal counsel. Tom is a great guy. He knows the system, but he's an architect, not a lawyer, so.
Well,
Maria had. Forms that short form have to use, but then a little more detail that the state's applying. There is. But have a few more explanations and examples. So if you make up to that, pass it yourself or. Yes.
Chairman, there are some members of the public here, or should we see? Yeah.
All right, so you guys are done. If you want to sit, because we're going to ask, there are people from the public here. I know they could be outside listening to music and not me, so you must be here for a reason. So is there anybody from the public who would like to come up and address the zoning board about this project?
I think if you're gonna.
If you could get up, please, and give us your name and.
My name is Sal Mira. I'm a property owner of 49 Gramerton Avenue that abuts Pete's Place. And I just want to say it's a very advantageous thing that he wants to do, and I really get it. It would probably benefit Mount Vernon because there's a lot of negative things going on here in Mount Vernon, I'm sure we all know. But there are people here that I'm invested in this, I'm invested in my building. I've had it for over 20 years and my business is there also. And there are a lot of concerns on naturally my property abuts Pete's, and there are some concerns. I don't think this is really the time to express that right now. I think maybe if it was further along, the plans were further along and we knew exactly what Pete was gonna do, submit whatever that you asked him for. I think that when that happens, maybe the concerns could be addressed then. Because whether it's gonna be 5 stories or 15 stories or whatever the story is. And, parking lot has to be dug out and, I'm thinking of all kinds of things. The integrity to the stores that abuts his property. I don't know how that's gonna work. I really don't know. So, I mean, that's all architectural stuff. He's the baker, I'm the butcher. So we really don't, we're in uncharted territory for me. So,
Yeah.
But I appreciate coming here and I appreciate Pete, trying to do something positive in Mount Vernon. I do. And I think we need more of that in Mount Vernon. That people would take pride in what they want to leave behind, so to speak, what Pete said. And I think that, like I said before, I don't want to go over it, beat a dead horse, but I think as soon as the plans are in, I think that we should voice our concerns. And then we'll go from there. Other than that, thank you for listening.
Okay, and so I would say you have not submitted a consent form?
I did not.
Are you
I have
are you
consent,
not?
so
So you're not ready to do that?
I'm not ready to do that.
At once we
How
get
can I do that if I don't know what's gonna?
I agree with you. You're absolutely right, and I respect that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else from the public? Yes.
Yes.
If you could come up, please, and use the microphone, because there are people online that want to hear you, and then we all in a room want to hear you.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This is my first time here, but I saw a sign at 19 South 10th Avenue that there was a hearing today on July 15, 2025 at 6:30.
We told them not to put that sign up. That's not today. They're not being heard today.
Okay, how do we know when it's right and when it's not right?
So they had, that's Mount Carmel School, right?
Yeah.
So they had come before us a couple months ago, and they have parking that they, you know, they want to convert the building to, a residential,
To what?
a residential
Okay.
apartment building. But they have absolutely no parking, and so one of the things we asked them to do is try to find some parking alternatives, because they can't really put it on site. And they were having trouble doing that, and they never really got back to us. And quite honestly, there's another issue now that might prevent this from coming forward.
Can I ask
And
what?
which is, yes, I'm gonna tell you what it is, because it is public knowledge, that they are over $300,000 in arrears on their taxes and penalties and interest. So if we'd had known that from day one, we would have addressed that and not spent a couple of hours. So hopefully they can address that. I'll put a plan where they can make a payment schedule and then come before us again. So, yeah. I don't know why the sign was up. That should never have gone up.
Okay, because we're here because the sign was up. We used to own that building. So there's no parking. There will be no parking.
No, so just, and we're not gonna get too far in the weeds with this, but if they bought a lot down the block and they could supply a certain amount of parking across the street or wherever, we would consider it, because we think that that's architecturally a nice building. We hate to see it get knocked down. Unless somebody else can repurpose it in another way, it would be nice if somebody could figure that out.
I'll help do that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, anybody else here present that wants to speak? Okay, I know we have like 50, 60 people online. Does anybody want to speak who's online? Will? Oh, no? Oh. Okay. They're all listening to the band. Did you want to say something else, Mr.
Thank you very much. We'd like to come back in September. Let's hope with
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a meeting next month. So September would be our next date.
You're gonna go to the beach.
Well, something like that, but it'll give you lots of time to really have a polished presentation. Seriously, I mean, you know,
You got it.
all right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jeremy?
Want to declare lead agency now, or would you prefer to wait until they come back with a more refined proposal?
No, we can declare lead
Well,
agency.
because part of the reason I'm asking this, is because when it comes to circulating the notice, we would not, if they're talking about building adding more stories, the proposal, we might want to have a better picture of knowing what the proposal is, what the approvals are, before we do that circulation. So for example, when I circulated.
Oh,
I sent-
so-
That's when the referral to county planning board gets made.
So let me make sure I understand that. So if we said we declared lead agency now, we would circulate the wrong application.
We would circulate what we're holding right now.
All right, so then no, let's not do that.
Okay, so we can do it in September.
Right,
Okay.
okay? Makes sense to you guys too?
Thank you.
Yep, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so, upcoming dates, Tuesday, September 16th, 6 o'clock, the ZBA work session, Tuesday, September 16th, 6:30, regular meeting of the ZBA. Any other comments or concerns? Somebody want to move to adjourn? Oh, wait, so we're gonna, I guess, do we have to adjourn this application officially?
Yes, you
Okay,
can
so
take a
somebody
vote.
move to adjourn this application?
So moved. I moved to adjourn this application.
All right, seconded?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll hear that in September. And is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move to adjourn?
Seconded?
Second.